Welcome back to the channel. Last week we took a trip on the Caledonian Sleeper, a 12-hour train trip from London Euston to Fort William in Scotland. Today we're going to look at 6 things to do when visiting Fort William. After our 12-hour train journey, we decided to explore the town. But what better way to start off our adventure in Fort William than to go to the water and do some seal spotting. So we booked our seal watching tour with Cruise Loch Linnhe, and this came to a total of £94.50 for a family ticket. So for 2 adults and 2 children, and that was for a 2-hour tour. So we went up the loch, looked at some of the sights, took us to see some of the shipwrecks, and then took us down to where the seals were. We could see the seals enjoying themselves in the Scottish rain. It was a little bit chilly, so take your jumpers, take your coats. There is a place you can sit inside as well as outside to look at the seals. They do provide binoculars, and there's also tea, coffee and snacks that you can purchase on board as well. So it's a good way to enjoy 2 hours with the family. Now, one of the big reasons why a lot of people go to Fort William is to ride the Jacobite. So the Jacobite leaves twice a day. They have a morning journey and an afternoon journey leaving from Fort William, and it takes an hour and a half from Fort William to Mallaig, taking you over that famous viaduct. So we paid £205.75 for a family. That's 2 adults, 2 children, and that was in the standard class carriage. You can also upgrade to this carriage, which is the first class carriage, but you're looking at quite a lot more money. They also have the private booths as well, just like in the Harry Potter movie. But it's a very good train journey. It's an hour and a half there, and then you spend about 2 hours in Mallaig, where you can explore the shops as well as the local Harry Potter themed shops as well. But this is the reason why a lot of people take this journey, is to go over this viaduct. And without giving away too many spoilers, fans of the Harry Potter film will recognise this island as the final resting place for a very important character. And then when you're in Mallaig, you've got to visit the Harry Potter themed shops. And once you're done, you get back on the train and you head back to Fort William. Now, not far from the town itself, you can walk to Neptune staircase. So this is a series of locks that take you from the top area right out to where the lock is in Fort William. It's a marvellous piece of engineering, really interesting to see. There is a cafe alongside where you can get something to eat. Unfortunately, when we visited, it was closed for a private event. But nevertheless, if the sun is out like it was today, it's a great place to have a walk by and have a look. Well worth a visit. So this Neptune staircase is made up of 8 locks, and if you're going up here by boat, you raise up by 19 metres. And anyone taking this journey by boat, it'll take around about 90 minutes to travel all the way up. And the locks was originally built in 1803 to 1822. and it's the longest staircase lock in Scotland. Then at the end of the lock, we decided to carry on our journey, walking over the train track and walking beside the canal to the next town over. It's a nice walk, only about 45 minutes, very calm, and in the next town we get to our next place where we visit. And the next town is the town of Corpac, where we go visit a museum, which my little boy was really excited to see, a museum called Treasures of the Earth. Now, Treasures of the Earth has a collection of gems and minerals, as well as fossils. It's a very interesting place to see. The staff here were very friendly. Quite easily spent an hour or two here looking around. And once you get inside, have a look at all the different gems and fossils they have on display. Admission here is $7.99 for an adult, and children between 5 and 15, $5.99, and children under 5 are free. So obviously once we've looked around at everything that we have inside, you go towards the exit and you exit through the gift shop. They have all sorts of bits and pieces in the gift shop, some ranging from extremely expensive. I don't know, is it expensive? It's probably the right cost for it, I guess, but yeah, some that's, you know, things that do cost a lot of money. But you also get bits and pieces as well for kids, anywhere from £1 to £10 to add to their fossil and gem collection. Now, you can't come to Fort William and not visit the Ben Nevis cable car. So the Ben Nevis cable cars are on the Ben Nevis range. You don't actually go up Ben Nevis itself, but you're on the range of mountains, so you're not too far from where Ben Nevis is. But it is an experience, and well worth a visit. So a lot of people take the gondola up with their mountain bikes, and then they bike all the way down, which is really interesting to see. It's obviously quite a popular sport here. I'm not sure if I'm brave enough to do this. Maybe one day. But I think the kids are intrigued. I'm not sure how I feel about it. So a day pass to ride the gondola starts from £27.50 for one person. However, we had a family ticket, and the family ticket for 2 adults and 2 children came to £62.95. So I do call this a day pass, but if you're taking the gondola up, I'm not sure why you would take it down to go back up again. Now when you're up here as well, sometimes the clouds are so low that it feels like you're standing above the clouds, which is a very strange feeling. But once you're up here, there is a cafe where you can get a bite to eat, tea and cakes, and just enjoy the view. And of course, every tourist attraction wouldn't be right without a gift shop. And then once you're done, well, the best way to get back down again is by using the gondola. Now there wasn't very many people on here when we went, so there was no long queue, very easy to get back on again. And obviously you get in there and you get your own gondola to yourself, or at least we did when we were on there. But here, as I said, you can see the clouds forming below where we were on the gondola at this point. But just this amazing scenery to feel like you're in the clouds themselves. And now to our last place to visit. When you go to Fort William, well, you've got to see the fort itself, where the town gets its name, Fort William. The original Fort William was built in 1654, and it was a wooden structure used to shelter English troops. And over time, it evolved into a brick fort. The stone walls rose to 20 feet high, and it was used to protect the troops within. Today, there's not much left of the original fort, and dare I say, most tourists probably don't even know it's there. But it's interesting to walk around and see the remnants. So in its day, the fort, or the garrison, which became known as Fort William, was used by the army and withstood the Jacobite siege in 1746. But about a century later, it fell out of military use and part of it started to get demolished. And on the east side that was demolished, it was used to make way for the railway line, which has now been replaced by the road and the nearby roundabout, which you have to cross to get here. Because of where the road and the roundabout is, it's not very easy to access by people on foot, which is why when you go to visit, you can pretty much have this whole place to yourself. There are some information boards telling you a little bit of the history there, and a few model cannons pointing out to the lock. But otherwise, it's a very nice place to go visit, especially on a nice sunny day, and it should be away from all the main crowds. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of looking at the top 6 things to do when visiting Fort William. Please join us next week when we share our full trip aboard the Jacobite, and we share with you the disaster. There's not only one train breaks down, but 2 trains break down. Please join us next week, and please like and subscribe. to follow more.